we're going to talk about the process of, if you're moving to Vegas, some of the things you need to do and you need to be thinking about when you're moving to this new city. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, hey, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's get started. So you're moving to Las Vegas and you're thinking of buying a home. So what are some of the things really important for you to do? Well, the first thing you want to think about doing is do some background research. You can do a lot of background research yourself. That's really important and can get you way ahead of the game in terms of when you're ready to buy a home, for example. The first thing you can do is find out what neighborhood you might want to live in. There's lots of great neighborhoods here in Las Vegas, and one way you can do it all on the internet before you even get here. So, one thing you can do is I'm going to put some website links for you to look at. One here is, from the state government here. It talks about zoning and planning. What's zoning and planning? Well, if you're buying into a neighborhood and there's some plans to change the zoning of that neighborhood, maybe, it's residential, maybe there's some commercial planning going on. You want to know about that. So, if you're thinking about doing a long-term purchase, you're buying a new home, maybe with long-term views, you want to know what's in the mix, in the plans for that particular neighborhood, what's going on. So that's the first thing you can do, is check out the zoning and planning area of the neighborhood that maybe you're interested in. And the second thing you can do, and I'm putting another link up here, is you want to check out the crime map. Look at the crime statistics for that area. What does that look like? Obviously, you want to be in a neighborhood that you feel safe and comfortable, particularly if you have a family. So that's another great area to do a little research on. Another, which is really one of the most important areas that for a lot of people who move that I hear, is school districts. I was just talking to one client here. She's moving from Florida here to Las Vegas, and she was looking at some of the different school districts and really wanting something at least a 6 or a 7 out of 10, because she's currently in an area where she's living where the school district is around a 4 or a 5. So those kind of things are really important. Maybe you don't have a family yet. Maybe down the road you're thinking you're going to have a family. So, that's another area. I'm going to put a great link. It's called greatschools.org. So that's another link. So, do some research there. Find out, some good school districts in the neighborhood you want to move into, an area you feel safe, that you feel comfortable living in, and also, what's the zoning and the planning. So there's some really things that you can do yourself in terms of doing some background research. And now, once you feel like you have, you've got an idea of the neighborhood that you might want to move into, it might be time to connect with a real estate agent. Get in touch with a trusted real estate advisor. And then what they can do is they can start running some comps for you. Once you feel like you're going to get pre-approved, and if you're not sure what that's about, check the link above. I'm going to go into how you get pre-approved, what that's all about, getting a mortgage and all that kind of thing. Or maybe you're a cash buyer, that's even better. But in any event, once you have an idea of how much home you can afford, then what you want to do is you want to get together with a trusted real estate advisor, give them the criteria of what you're looking for, and then they can come up with what are called comps. Comps means it's short for comparable homes. Now you're going to look at some comparable homes in the neighborhood that you're interested in. And here I'm going to put right here is a sample of some comps. It might look something like this. You're going to have a mix of some homes that have been sold maybe in the last 6 to 12 months, preferably, really recently, even in a shorter time frame than 6 months. Also, maybe there's a couple homes on there that are right now under contract, so they're just about to be sold. And maybe there's also some homes on there that are active or that are still up for sale. So when you have a mix of those three things, you can kind of get a good idea of, what are homes are going for in, the neighborhood that you're interested, that are similar to the home that you're looking for, to your dream home. So that's another thing you can do. And you can do all of that before you even move. The great thing about real estate today, being at the internet, it makes it so easy to do a lot of things before you even get to move. Now, once you actually, what a lot of people do, I work with a lot of out-of-state clients, and quite often what they'll do is they move, maybe they rent for 6 months, they get a lease, and then it gives them time to look around. Sometimes people, make the purchase before they get here, but in either way, once you definitely want to make some trips to whatever place you're moving to, and once you feel like, oh, that's the neighborhood there that I'd really like to get into, go for a drive, take a drive around the neighborhood, check it out, do a little scouting of the neighborhood. And you can even, me myself, I often go knocking on people's doors, when I'm doing open houses and things like that, to tell people, there's a house for sale in their neighborhood. And whenever I do that, I usually, one of the first things I ask people is, hey, how do you like living in this neighborhood? Is it a quiet neighborhood that you really enjoy being in? And most people are open to expressing how they feel about that, and that's really about the best research that you can do, even if it's just maybe go visit a park in the area, where people congregate on the weekends. People in a park in an area where you're interested are probably going to be people who are living close by that area. That's another way you can connect with people, in their community without, maybe you don't want to go knock on their doors, but you could go hang out at a park, meet some people, talk to them, get a feel for what the neighborhood's like, and you'll start to get a feel for how people feel about that particular neighborhood. So they're all really key, critical things that you can be doing that is going to make your move a lot more successful. Do the research. And, so take those things seriously. The more research you do, the better prepared you are, the better result you're going to have. Then once you make the move, you be prepared to, it's like, think of it as house hunting. If you go hunting and you're out there in the wilderness, maybe you got the bow and arrow, or you're ready to line something up, you've seen one of those wildlife programs where you see the predator is creeping up really slowly and it's about to pounce on its evening dinner. Well, think about it like that in a way of, you've done your research, so you know what's out there, the neighborhood that you want to get into. The next thing to be thinking about is you got pre-approved, you've got all your finances ready to go, you're working with a trusted real estate advisor, you've done the comps, you know what a fair market value is for a home that you're looking for. And so once you have all those things lined up, when you see a house, maybe now you go and look at a house, it looks just like exactly what you want. So when you go inside that house, if the inside of the house when you're physically there matches what the pictures look like, the photos that made you wanted to go and look at it, when that all matches up and you don't see any glaring issues, then you want to think about pouncing on that house, because if you don't, someone else will. So, that's the next thing. You got to get into like a hunting kind of frame of mind, because it's a competitive market and you're going to be competing with a lot of other people who are ready to go, who are ready to make an offer on that place and ready to snap it up. So that's what you have to do yourself. Be ready to snap up a good, make an offer, and then you go through the whole process of closing the deal. If you're not sure about that, hey, there's a link right above here where I go into how do you close a deal on the place, how do you get a good deal on a place. So check out these video links that I'm putting above. I go into all that right there. So now you're under contract and you're going through the process of inspections and appraisals and all those kind of things, and then you close the deal and then you move into your home. So that's a real brief nutshell of what to do when you're moving to a new state, and particularly Las Vegas. Also, you might want to look at here, I'm going to put a link to another video link for neighborhood tours that I've done. So check out that playlist, and you want to do that for some other YouTube channels as well. Look at some neighborhood tours, of the city that you're moving to. Find someone who does neighborhood tours and view those videos. You can get a lot of a feel for a place, these days just through the internet before even getting to a place. So there's some tips for you. I hope that was helpful. Hey, do me a favor, if you found anything in this video helpful today, hey, hit the subscribe button, give me the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.